Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. Welcome to the final day of the Aussizz Conclave 4.0. Today, as we wrap up Enlightening Week, we focus on providing key insights and practical tips on CCL. For the today's session, let's meet your guide for today's journey, Rinni Mehta, a disgraced CCL tutor at Aussizz Group. Rinni brings a depth of experience in language coaching, and her strategies have consistency helped our client excel in their language proficiency tests. Today, she will share her invaluable insights on marketing the CCL tests, which is crucial for anyone looking to add extra points to the migration pathway. And now I am handling the session to Rinni for the CCL tips and tricks.
Thank you so much, Harshil. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. I'm Rinni Mehta from CCL Tutorials Aussizz Group, and we are starting this session here to understand what is CCL Tutorials, how it will help you in your preparation journey, what is NATI CCL exam, and many other things in the session. So let's start. First of all, ccltutorials.online. You can check our website as well as we have our app, and we teach about CCL exam. And in this online coaching course, we talk about NATI accredited interpreters and the exam held by NATI, that is CCL exam, and it is for 5 points towards your PR process. We do these things in 9 languages other than English on our website. You can find material related to Hindi, Punjabi, Mandarin, Nepali, Vietnamese, Urdu, Persian, Gujarati, and Tamil. And we will give you best strategies to help you in your preparation. You can explore education with Aussizz Group. We are amongst the top education consultants and migration agents. And since 2009, we have assisted 180K plus individuals. And I hope you can benefit from this session. And this conclave is really very wonderful. I'm participating in this to guide you about CCL exam. So let's talk about NATI CCL. And in this exam, the test is conducted online, and you need to complete the test in less than 20 minutes. So you will have up to 15 minutes during the test session to prepare and read before you start. So basically, it is an online exam, and you have to give it in 20 minutes, but they give you extra 10 minutes to process with the exam, upload your answers. And it is an online exam, so you can give it from any part of the world. You can give it from anywhere in the world. You just need 2 devices and a 4-wall room. So you need to make exam-like scenario at your home. You need a closed room, 4-wall room. You are not allowed to sit in kitchen, or you are not allowed to sit in long hall. You need 4-wall rooms. Once you are set, then you have to start your device, and then you have to go through the links. During the test, you will interpret 2 conversations. And in NATI CCL exam, they give you 2 questions. Basically, we name it as dialogues. And this dialogue is a normal conversation between 2 people. These 2 people, amongst them, one is a native English speaker, and the second one is the native speaker of language other than English. Let's say it can be Hindi, it can be Punjabi, it can be Nepali, Gujarati. There are more than 40 plus languages which you can choose from. So you can choose your own native language and one English, and you have to just answer that conversation. You have to interpret the conversation between 2 people. So this test is made up of 2 audio recorded dialogues between 2 people, and each dialogue is divided into segments with approximately 300 words, with about half in English and half in language other than English. So basically, you will get a dialogue, and this dialogue will relate to a different topic which reflect real life scenarios in Australian society. So you will be given 2 questions. So let's talk about dialogue 1. Okay. So dialogue 1 will be divided into short segments of 35 words or less, which make up the conversation. And after each segment is played, there will be a beep, and then you have to interpret what they have said back to the other person. For example, let's talk about a question between a parent and a teacher. So you'll get a parent-teacher meeting dialogue, and here the parent is speaking in Hindi or Punjabi or Gujarati, any language other than English. But the teacher is speaking in English. Now, the teacher doesn't know the other language, and the parent doesn't know English. So you are there to interpret their languages, right? So when the teacher is saying, hello, welcome to our school, so you have to translate it in the respective language in whatever you have chosen. And when the parent is saying the answer, thank you for welcoming me in their language, you have to translate it in English and say, thank you for welcoming me. And like this. So you have to you have to just listen to the conversation. You have to play an audio and listen to the conversation. After the beep, you have to reply, click finish, and then click next, play the second audio. There is no interpreter in the exam, no one helping you in the exam. This is just an online exam, no one sitting in front of you, and your exam is getting recorded, and then you have to submit your test. So there are two dialogues like this, right? Now, these dialogues relate to different types of formats. So we have different formats. For example, we have the topics that are covered in this exam are these 12 topics, and they relate to real life scenarios. For example, you can get a dialogue related to business, you can get a dialogue related to consumer affair, employment, health, immigration or settlement, legal dialogues, community. If your first question is education, your second dialogue can be financial. It can be related to housing, insurance, and social services. So basically, two dialogues are there. One can be business, second can be education, anything, but they totally relate to real life scenarios of Australian society, like what is happening, how insurance can be purchased, or how you can go to a doctor. So doctor and a patient, they're talking. So you have to translate that. You have to interpret what the doctor is saying into one language and what the patient is saying into English. So opposite language translation is there, and alternate segments are there. Like for example, if your chosen language is Hindi, so you will get doctor's question in English and then patient speaking Hindi, again English, then Hindi, then English, then Hindi. So alternate segments will be there, and there will be around 6 segments for English and 6 for Hindi, alternate. So total 12 to 15 segments in one question. Right. Now, how your marks are allocated. So each dialogue is worth 45 marks, and there are 90 marks in total. This means that your one question carries 45, second dialogue again 45, so a total of 90 marks exam. And marks are taken off if the candidate makes errors during this test. For example, if each error, whatever you are doing, will result in a different number of marks being taken off, depending on how much the error impacts on overall communication. If you are doing minor error, it won't affect much. But if you're doing major error, it will deduct a lot of a score. So you have to work on your communication skills, and you have to improvise in such a manner where you talk about answering with minor errors are okay, but avoid major errors. And CCL tutorials is always there to guide you for that. So to pass the CCL test, you must achieve a score of 63 or more overall and at least 29 marks in each dialogue. Means if your dialogue 1 carries 45 marks and dialogue 2 also is a 45, so at least 29 marks must be there in your first dialogue and at least 29 marks in dialogue 2. But when we total it up, it becomes 58. So it should be 63 or more. If you get a 63, you get a pass, or more, you get a pass. So you don't need anything extra. Once you touch 29 in one dialogue and more than 29 in second, or vice versa, you can make a combination like dialogue 130, so dialogue 233, total 63. So you pass this exam. So basically 29 in dialogue 1 minimum, at least 29 in dialogue 2, and a total of 63 or more gives a pass result. You obtain 5 points and your PR points will increase and you can get the invite quickly. So that is why it is very beneficial. Now the marking, as I explained earlier, there will be minor error and major error, and based on that your marks will be deducted. So there will be 2 examiners who will assess your test recording. So basically when you are sitting in a room and you are giving your exam, that exam is getting recorded and the video of that recording is sent to 2 examiners, and human examiners are checking your score. So imagine you can't fool them, right? So you need exact strategies to cover this exam, and 2 people will check, 2 examiners will assess the test individually. They are not sitting together. They are sent individually. And then they are given some rubrics. And rubrics to check this exam includes deductive marking system. So they cut some marks for the errors for which the examiners deduct are inaccuracy. If your level of correctness of information is not correct, they will deduct your mark. For example, if you're saying some answer and some segment, it contains 3 sentences, and you are just giving 2 sentences, and that too not accurately, it will cut your mark. So major error deduction. Then comes distortion. Distortion means misrepresentation of information. Means, let's say you are talking about some incident and you explained it in a distorted way. Means you wanted to say something, but the meaning came out differently. For example, if I want to say that, let's say there are 4 thieves that ran away in a red car. And when you are interpreting it in your target language, let's say you are interpreting in Hindi or Punjabi or Nepali. So what happens is when you are targeting, you are interpreting instead of red car, if you say white car in your Hindi or Punjabi or whatever language you are choosing, and you are not saying red, and you are by mistake you converted it to the word that means white car, then that is distortion. Means you are not representing the information correctly, and that deducts very, like, it's a very big deductive thing and a major error reported here. But it's okay, you won't miss the exam if you only do distortion. Third is omission. But if you do omissions also, so you are doing inaccuracy, you are doing distortion, and then you are doing omissions also. Omission means removal of information. Let's say I'm telling, the English speaker is saying, please come in, remove your shoes and have a seat. And when I'm interpreting and I just did 2 sentences, I said, please come in and have a seat. The omission was remove your shoes, right? So that was a major omission, and that will lead to deductive marking, and that will cut your score. But if you insert something, insertion means addition of information. So if you insert something in that, what will happen? It will again deduct marks. So there are 4 types of mistakes for which they are checking you critically. So insertion means adding something. Let's say I'm saying, please come in, remove your shoes and have a seat. Instead of that, when I said, when I interpreted in my target language, I added one more sentence, please come in, remove your shoes, have seat and drink water. So drink water was the added information. And out of these 4 errors, if any candidate is doing 2 or more things in one dialogue, means you are doing distortion also and you are doing omission also. In segment number 5, you are doing distortion, and segment number 7, you are doing omission, then it's a direct fail, right? So that is the biggest challenge in this exam, but you can overcome it very easily if you have an expert aside you, and you can take the guidance, you can control these errors. So do any one type of error, it won't harm much. Major error will lead to 1 mark deduction, or if let's say you are doing errors in phone numbers or any other address or such type of things, that might lead to 5 mark deduction. But out of 90, if you're getting 70, then also it is okay, it is a pass, so it does not affect much. So 5 mark or 1 mark or major error deduction will not impact much, but you have to be very much careful that you don't do different types of errors in one dialogue, right? What I mean to say, if dialogue 1 you are doing distortion and dialogue 2 you are doing omissions, that's totally fine. So we at CCL Tutorials, we mainly help people to work on their preparation in such a manner that we try to avoid all these mixing up of errors, and we give strategies, and we have many techniques which can help you to avoid such kind of things, and we can stop direct fail. And when we do 2 or more of such errors, it's a direct fail. So we will avoid on that and we'll work on that. I'll explain it more with upcoming slides as well. So next, if you can see the last part, 2 significant factors that contribute to assessment are language quality and language register. As you all know, it is a language exam, right? So competency in both English and language other than English is needed. So that language quality matters. And language register, it is a level of formality with which a candidate transfers the meaning. For example, if you are talking about language register, basically it means robotic translations, right? If you are interpreting and your answer goes robotic, it will affect. When we speak, we have to bring in certain part of the sentence from the back side to the front. Like, for example, if I'm saying, please come in and have a seat. So the please word is here in the start, but sometimes we say please at the end, right? So you have to notice the position of where you are saying today, like, how can I help you today? If you translate it in your language, how can I help you today? So you will see most of the languages, the today word comes in the start while you're interpreting. So you have to bring it from left to right or end to start like that. Register your language incorrectly, it will lead to a direct fail. So language register and language quality should be perfect, and you can take guidance, you can practice with experts to understand more about it. Now let's talk about preparation tips. So during the exam, what you have to do, and on the exam, what you have to do, like when you are sitting for the exam, it is very normal to panic. We are humans, right? So how to overcome that emotion, how to be casual, and how to be very much focused and all that, because this exam is all about concentration, right? So stay calm and focused and manage your anxiety to ensure clear thinking and smooth interpretation. Practice relaxation techniques like deep breathing and all, and you can just distract your mind from the main thing and think about something else and then come back to that point. But yeah, concentration is the key for this exam. So you have to listen carefully, pay close attention to the dialogues. Missing a detail can affect your interpretation accuracy, and it can lead to omission, insertion, distortion, anything can happen. So in this exam, the benefit is that you can make notes. You are allowed to keep paper and pen during the exam. You can keep A4 size paper. So take notes and write down key points, names, dates, any specific information that can help you to recall the dialogue content. Like you, for example, it's tough to remember the phone number, right? So if the audio is saying phone number, you can note it down quickly and then you can say the answer. Be clear and concise, interpret the message accurately, and convey it clearly. Avoid adding or omitting the information. That is the key. Don't do two mistakes in one question, right? Ask for repetition if needed. If you miss part of a dialogue, it's better to repeat rather than doing it incorrectly. I'll show you how to repeat in upcoming slides. But on the day of exam, start on time. It is very important that you are well prepared and you start on time to avoid any last minute stress. Because, when you are appearing for the exam and you're not starting on time, automatically you will slip into panic mode and the rushing things will go ahead and your brain will not be calm and all that. So it's better to start on time. Plus, the link goes away if you don't enter. If your exam starts at 10 a.m., you have to start at sharp 10 a.m. But there are two slots in exam, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If your timer is saying 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., that means Australia time, Melbourne, Canberra time zone, you have to start 10 a.m. But in this slot, when it is 10 to 3, you can start at 11, you can start at 12, you can start at 1. Maximum by 1 you need to start. You should keep a buffer of 2 hours towards the end. It is a half an hour exam. So if you start at 11 o'clock, it will end by 11:30. But the preparation pre-exam setup time is extra. So I'll show you with the next slides what is pre-exam setup and how it is done. And but main thing is that if your timer is 10 to 3, you can start in between any time. But if your timer shows just 1 hour slot, if you are enrolled for a 1 hour slot, if you have booked your exam on a particular day where the slot is just 10 to 11 or it is just 12 to 1, then it is very important that you start on time, because 12 o'clock, if you don't join in, the link will expire in few minutes and you will not be able to start your exam. So please make sure if you have a 1 hour slot given to you, then you have to join exactly at that time. Technical check is important. So as the exam is online, ensure your equipment is working properly, your laptop and your equipments and your internet connection is stable. Stay hydrated and relaxed. Keep water handy. You can keep a water bottle on your table. They allow it. And ensure that you are physically comfortable to maintain focus throughout the exam. By combining thorough preparation with effective exam strategies, you can pass NATI CCL exam with confidence. It's very easy to pass if you know what to avoid and what to include. So now we talk about steps for online setup because it is an online exam. So you need to know if how you have to operate during the exam because there is no one allowed in between. You cannot call someone for help. You cannot contact anyone. So you should know what is the process. So steps for online setup are very simple. First, you will get an email from NATI 7 days before your exam date. Let's say your exam is on 7th July. So you will get an email from NATI CCL and NATI will send you an email on 1st July. Now, this email is for initial setup, and in this email, they will give you one link to just check your device, whether your device is like it is working or not, or it is not bringing in any problem, or it is ready to start with the exam. Because sometimes the laptop, especially I have seen with candidates who came to our CCL tutorials class previously, when they used before joining our class, when they used their laptop, it stopped in between the exam. So when they joined the sessions and I told them, because when the laptop stops in between, you can't complete your exam, right? So they had to re-enroll again and then they took coaching because now they understood that you need support, right, to understand all these minute details. So when they came to CCL tutorials class, I explained them that you have to take that laptop which does not block anything. So many candidates, they were using their office laptops only, and sometimes office laptops blocks external things like Google and Instagram and Facebook, and many things are blocked on office laptop. So it is very important that when you do initial setup, it will make sure that your laptop is working properly and you are not facing any technical difficulties, your internet is sound, everything is okay. So you have to do certain checks like mic check, headset check, camera check, and it is a stepwise process. They give you next button, you do that, whatever they are writing on your screen, you do that and click next. In 6 7 links you will finish this. So there is one email link which helps you to do this setup. You can do this setup 7 days before your exam, 6 days before your exam, 5 days before your exam, anytime in between, but at least 2 days before your exam is important. Because if you are doing this setup just on the day of your exam, that is not advisable, because after this setup only, when this setup is done, then only you get the main exam joining link. And if this setup creates some difficulty, if there is something happening in this setup, your internet is not compatible with this, or your laptop is not compatible with this link or proctor setup, so you need to message NATI, you need to email NATI that I'm not able to click these links, or it is not working. So then they help you by emailing back. So it needs 2 days of buffer, right? So 2 working days, So make sure you do the setup within, once you get it within 1 or 2 days, you do the setup. Okay. Once this setup is done, now immediately, like if I'm getting this email on 7th, on 1st July, and I thought to do the setup on 2nd July, right? So when I'm doing this setup on 2nd July, what will happen? It will immediately, once the setup is complete, I will get immediately another email from NATI. And this second email contains the link for your exam. And it is known as pre-exam setup link. And this email link, when you click, will not start your exam. It will just tell you you are a bit earlier. You are 7 days earlier. You are 5 days earlier. You are 2 days earlier. But on the exam date, and at that particular exact time when the exam is supposed to start, at the time when you click the link, it will start. And that link will take again to initial setup. Okay. So basically, you have to do the initial setup twice. Once you have to do 7 days before, and one you have to do this just before your exam getting started. So sometimes, your laptop can be, previously when you were doing initial setup, you took some laptop, but now something happened and you cannot take that laptop. So that is why they do one more setup just immediately before your exam. You have to again do the same thing. And once you finish that setup, your mic check, headset check done, laptop check done, internet check done, and then they take you immediately to CCL test and two dialogues are done. And in this, you have to do two dialogues. You have to interpret that. Once your test is over, you can finish your exam. But in between, if you face any technical difficulty, you cannot contact any outsider. They give you chat support, and their NATI CCL technical team is available on chat. There is a cross button at the bottom. You can just click that, and the chat support will message you. You can tell them my mic is not working or I cannot hear the audio that is playing. So they will tell you go to settings or restart your laptop or restart. So they will guide you properly, right? So you are given chat support. If you have any technical problem, you can message me, or any sort of problem, you can message them in the chat support. Now, NATI gives you two rules to complete your exam. So first, when you start your test, dialogue one will be there. And when you play the dialogue one, let's say parent is talking. So dialogue one, segment one, parent is saying something. And you were not ready to listen to that question and you missed that part. So NATI provide you tools. The first very important tool is repeat. So you can repeat any segment before you begin your interpretation. In such instances, the whole segment will be repeated. So basically, there will be a button. So you have to click the start button, audio plays, beep is there, and then you have to answer and click finish. But because when the audio was playing, I was not focused. Okay, so what I can do, I press the start, audio played, beep is there, but I could not listen it, so I will not answer it. And I will click finish button, and then I will replay it again by clicking the start button. So that is repeat, means you can repeat the whole segment. The first repetition in each dialogue may be requested without penalty. You will not be cut any mark or any penalty for this repeat for the first segment or any segment. If there are 15 segments, you can take a repeat on 10th segment or any one. That is free. But any further request for repetitions may be penalized by the examiner. Means if you are taking repeat on segment number 10, that is free. But if again on segment number 12, you miss the audio and you're repeating it again, now 1 mark penalty will be deducted. So if your question carries 5 mark, you will be checked out of 4 mark, right? So I'll avoid lots of repetitions. Now, second tool given by NATI is correction. If you realize during the test that you have made an error, or you are permitted to insert a correction of that part before continuing. Any corrections should be prefaced by some suitable phrase like sorry, I will say just sorry, I'll just say that part again, or sorry, or correction. You can say these words and correct yourself. And lengthy pauses and repeated reworking of segments will be viewed as distracting significantly from the dynamics of the test task. So basically, if you're doing lots of correction, let's say I said, hello, my name is Rinni Mehta and I'm here to help you. So when I'm interpreting this part and I said, hello, my name is Rinni and I'm here, and then suddenly I realized I'm Ms. Mehta. So I'll just say correction. My name is Rinni Mehta and I'm here to. So when you are translating, when you are interpreting your answer, you realize that you have missed some part, or you have done some distortion, or you have done some omission. They tell you you can correct it easily. You have to just say, sorry, I will say that part again, and then say it again. They will not deduct any mark for that. And correction is free to be done. So it's so simple now. NATI is very simple now. You have so many tools to cover it, right? But again, repeat, maximum repeat can be 4 allowed. So in one dialogue, you can do maximum 4 repeats. First repeat is free. The remaining 3 repeats will be penalized. Maximum 4 you can do. You can make just only 2 repeats. It's up to you. But maximum corrections that are allowed are 6. And you have to make sure that you are not crossing a total of 6. That means if you're doing 2 repeat, now you can only do 4 corrections. A total of 6 is allowed. More than that will be considered as repeated reworking, and then it will lead to a direct fail. So avoid lots of repeat and correction, but yeah, few are allowed. So don't hesitate. You can manage that, right? Okay, now how to pass CCL exam? Very simple. There are many strategies: note making, visualization, simultaneous interpretation, and meaning transfer. You are totally allowed to write as much as you want. You can put pen and paper, and you can take that and make notes, listen to the audio, write something, and then interpret. But sometimes note making is very difficult when the sentences are very long, speed is super fast, then you cannot write exactly all the things, and then you are just able to write half of the sentence, then the remaining half you will miss. For that, we recommend to follow visualization. Means you can listen the sentence, focus on it, visualize it. There are many elements to do visualization. You can, like for example, if the sentence is I have parked a red car in the parking, so you can visualize the parking, you can see the red car there, you can imagine the parking anywhere, whatever is comfortable for you. Like you can imagine car parking in Melbourne, you can imagine car parking in any of the country, any place, whatever is comfortable. So once you visualize, during the coaching, we guide you about visualization factors such as what leads to visualization. You can imagine the shape of the car, you can imagine the color of the car, you can see the location parking. So all these factors we build up, and that helps you in visualization. So expert coaching will improvise, will help you to improve in all these things. We also teach simultaneous interpretation, means while you're listening, you can interpret in your brain simultaneously. While you're listening in your target language, you can translate it and then convey the meaning, right? So, for example, whatever is the meaning, you have to convey it in your target language. Don't just pick word to word. Just simply say what the speaker is trying to say. Just tell the meaning and you get full pass. Now, our coaching includes three parts. Mainly, our classes are run. We have Monday to Friday 1 hour coaching, and we have different languages, so you can choose your language. So in the coaching, we start with vocabulary building. So first of all, we teach vocabulary that is important for exam. You can't be an encyclopedia, right? So you have to particularly find out that vocab which will come in exam. So our experts are there and they guide you which is important, which word is important, and what you can avoid, and what you should not avoid, what you cannot miss. So vocabulary in NATI CCL exam plays a crucial role, as the students must learn vocabulary of English as well as the target language, right? So you need two language vocabulary. So you can't just completely learn the dictionary and encyclopedia, right? You need the word bank, and we have already provided it on CCL Tutorials website and app. You can just check in the website, and you can just see the different types of vocabulary already available. You can just sign up and check the vocabulary from there. But in classes, when we are doing, we need some more vocab building, so we add extra things as well. So the word bank must include all the topics of NATI CCL exam, which are 12, such as housing, insurance, education, so all real life scenarios and so on. Focus on the words which native speakers used in the conversation of our daily lives. For example, let's say I'm talking about fluency. So, what do we say fluency in your target language? You have to identify what is the meaning of fluency. Or let's say there is a health related vocab. So, in the health related vocab, we give you names of diseases. For example, diabetes. What is diabetes in your language? What do we mean by kidney? Kidney, what do we call kidney in your language, right? The target language. So we need to know these important things. If you are talking about insurance, what is the meaning of insurance in your language? What do we say? Claim the insurance. So what do we translate it? How do we say it in the native speaker's manner, right? So we, first of all, in our class, 15 minutes we do vocabulary. Then 15 minutes, most of the times, especially with me when I'm Hindi expert with CCL tutorials. So when I'm doing dialogue, so I do a dialogue, and most of our experts, they will do a dialogue. So they will practice real exam question for different scenarios, and we'll teach you how to transfer meaning, how the examiner is translating. You can see. So when I translate in my class, when I'm doing the question, you get to know, okay, this part should be done like this. So you learn from experts, right? And you see how expert is doing, and that helps you to improve your interpretation. And then the third part of the class includes practice. So we do real exam simulation of mock test. We use start and stop button, and we have real exam mock test on CCL Tutorials website and app, and you can Just practice with that. An examiner check your live interpretation in the class. If you are comfortable, you can do live interpretation. It's your choice, but usually people do that, and we find out the mistake and we tell you, okay, we have to improve this part, and that's how we avoid deductive marking. So I think that will help you in and all for total complete package. We also guide you about note making. Note making is very crucial. If you are not practicing it perfectly, it can lead to a disaster, because while you are writing, you cannot visualize, or you cannot remember or listen or understand the sentence. So if you are writing, you are writing. And when you interpret whatever is there on your notes, you will be able to interpret only that. So it is essential to learn this technique, because in this exam, segments are sometimes quite long and it is not possible for everyone to remember. So you need to know how to do a perfect note making. And you can use 8 to 10 A4 size plain papers. Make sure nothing is written on the paper. Now use 3-4 pen, and note taking helps in collection of information through keywords and shortcuts. So you can make your own mnemonics and remember certain phrases. For example, how are you can be written as HRU, or today can be written as 2D. So make some notes. We also guide you about note making in CCL tutorials classes. We practice enough, so we ace this strategy and we are comfortable during the exam. But we also need to retain certain information. So we also guide you how to do memory building and how to continue with the emotional responses. When you listen, try to feel surprised by details. You remember things better if you feel emotions in a reaction. So it helps you to concentrate because you are interested. So prepare emotionally. Like if you are listening to some audio, and if the audio is showing you an emotion of surprise, so you should feel that emotion, and that can help you to interpret correctly. Predict what people will say, like rely on context and predict what makes sense. So for example, if in a question they are telling you what is your phone number, so you can predict in the next sentence, in the next segment when it is played, there will be a phone number, right? If they are asking you what is your address, so you can predict in advance they will say some address. So how you can remember such things? How can you can remember such long sentences? You need to learn some strategies. One of them is chunking strategy, and it is a very powerful memory strategy that involves breaking down large amount of information into smaller units or chunks, and it helps to improve memory retention, and it recalls by making complex information easier to process. For example, there are three sentences. So chunk it, right? What is the most important word in the first sentence, what is the meaning of the second sentence, and what is the meaning of third sentence? Chunk that, and then you can retain it very easily. So preparation steps include brainstorming the vocabulary, reading dialogues, interpreting that properly, and then do revision. So in our classes, we cover 12 topics in 12 days, and then we again do the revision also. So it's not that we'll just teach you and leave you, right? We'll be there throughout the preparation journey, and we will help you to revise these topics again. So now, but apart from this different things which we are doing in classes, you also need to have two devices, you know. So there are two devices that are used in this exam. Device number one is laptop or computer. And laptop is the main device. Either you can use a laptop or you can use a computer, and you have to open Google Chrome in your laptop. Okay, when you open Google Chrome for the exam, on the exam date, you have to open Google Chrome, and the link sent to you by Nati on your email should link lead you to Google Chrome. So your exam is done in Google Chrome. If you're using Mac or any other laptop, make sure you download Google Chrome on your device, and then you can whatever computer device you can use. There's no nothing stopped in that. But main thing is that when you are using laptop or computer as the main device, your Google Chrome will give you the link, and your link starts in Google Chrome, and then you do mic check, headset check, everything happens in Google Chrome. So just make sure there are only two windows that are open in the Chrome in your computer, because your screen will be shared. So no other things should be on, and you just have to start your exam by clicking the link on, and it will take you to Google Chrome, and your exam is done in Chrome. Now this the camera of your laptop or computer. If you are using computer, you can use webcam, and if you're using laptop, the inbuilt camera will be used. That camera covers the backside of you, right? You will be covered from that camera, but what is behind the laptop, right? So you should be covered 360-degree, and you have to make sure that you are not doing any cheating, and you have to convey them that you are not doing cheating. For that, they are telling you to use one more device. So basically, the second device can be a phone, it can be a tablet, and you can use that at your backside. So what you have to do, you have to put one phone at the back, and it can be at an angle or it can be totally behind your back. Target of the second device is to put the camera in such a manner where your uh, below the table is covered, means you have to show them that there is no one sitting below the table, and the backside of your laptop also. So basically you are covered 360-degree with the help of two devices, one laptop, and second at the backside you have to put your camera. And when you put this camera, the second device, which is your mobile phone or it can be your tablet, there are certain restrictions to phone instruments, like you cannot use you cannot use certain devices such as Galaxy or any other such few models are written, and Nati will send you the instruction which device you cannot use, but mostly all the phones are allowed. So when you are using the secondary camera, make sure you keep it in such an angle that it covers you for the back side of your laptop as well as below your table. Keep your table clean, below the table clean. You can sit on a table and chair in a closed room and start the exam. Now, when the second device is kept at the back side, you don't need to open the camera of your mobile. Okay, you need to download an app on your mobile, and its name is Proctor Exam app. So you are covered by Proctor Exam. Your exam is proctored, right? So Proctor Exam app you have to download in your mobile, and then you have to open camera of that Proctor Exam, and there will be a QR code on your laptop. So you have to show that QR code to your Proctor camera. When you show the QR code, your mobile gets connected to your laptop through that Proctor setup only. It's not that your complete mobile information is getting transferred. It's just that your Proctor information gets connected to your laptop, Google Proctor. So now your laptop and your Proctor are connected. Make sure you keep your phone on airplane mode, because any notification, any phone call can affect your exam. So keep it on airplane mode, and don't forget to switch on the Wi-Fi, because your camera is on airplane mode. Now it should be connected to your laptop through the same Wi-Fi. So both your laptop and camera should be connected to the Wi-Fi. And so now you can see that your camera Proctor app is recording your external environment, and your laptop is recording you and your attempts, your voice, everything is getting recorded. And when you are done for the exam, it is then over and sent to two different examiners. But let's say one examiner declares pass and the second examiner declares fail. So there is a conflicting situation now. In that case, your result will be sent, your recording will be sent to one more examiner, and uh, three people are now checking your exam. So 2 out of 3, whatever is the result, that will be your result. You can always apply for rechecking if you get a fail, but mostly it is such that rechecking does not always result into any changes. But yeah, you can surely pay extra and do for rechecking. But I would recommend to just prepare properly, right? You can prepare with us, you can follow us, you can find us anywhere on Telegram. Nati CCL tutorials channel is there. We have so many candidates in that, and we have dedicated Telegram groups for coaching as well. We provide material on Telegram to prepare, to practice. You can join our live chats and quizzes and whatever webinar and everything is going on. So you will find updates on Telegram. We are also on Facebook. You can find CCL tutorials on Facebook. Follow us like us and get the latest updates. You can listen to our previous students' feedbacks. We have testimonials and video recordings on that. You can find us on Instagram. We are having CCL Tutorials Instagram channel is there, and you'll find so many updates on that as well. YouTube is always there. We are there. So subscribe us, like us, and follow us on these social media platforms. And you can check the latest updates. These are free. So take the benefit of these things, right? We have different platforms for your preparation. You can follow ccltutorials.online website. You can check our app, CCL Tutorials. We give blogs on our website and app, and we are providing free ebooks as well. So please check the benefits of all these things. How you can join our coaching. We provide coaching in different languages. So you can just log into CCL Tutorials dashboard. And once you're logged in, go to the dashboard, click on your name, go to dashboard, select the slot which is comfortable for you. We have many different slots for coaching. And then you can just register by paying directly on the website, and you can directly join the coaching. You can select your choice of date. You can select your choice of time. Thank you so much, everyone. It was so lovely to see you all here.
Such a wonderful session by Rinni. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, Harshil. Thank you, everyone. Bye.